Hi, this is Attorney Walter Knott, and I wanted to go into with you basically President Biden and essentially what politics are getting in the way of, or what these 10 things are that people really want. I want to make it very clear and simple. People are not happy. People on benefits do not get enough money. They don't get enough resources. They don't get enough benefits in general. I want to go through that right now. So, President Biden, people want these 10 things, and politics are getting in the way of them. Here we go. Number one, they want more time with their kids. I meet a lot of people on retirement, a lot of people who are on disability benefits that just want more time with their kids. And without the funds, without transportation, without basically their kids being able to work less, they're constantly stuck with not being able to see their kids, barely sometimes on a holiday. Number two, enough money to afford one vacation a year. I think this is incredibly important. People on disability benefits, they can't afford the rent, let alone essentially, going on a vacation once a year. And, remember, there's different gauges or grades or levels of vacation. There's super rich people that, spend $100,000 to go on a vacation, go from spot to spot. And I've said this before in videos, the super rich, their days are more like essentially, the super rich, their days are more like a birthday for you or I when you were working. You know what I mean? Like you took the day off and you had a bunch of scheduled events that you would go to, and then you'd have a nice dinner at the end, and then maybe like a movie or a massage or whatever. Like, I don't do any of that stuff, but I'm always working. But the bottom line is other people do that stuff, and that's kind of what the average day is like for a rich person who's not working, but just keep that in mind, basically enough money to afford one vacation a year. It could be, where you set aside enough money to pay for like, it could be anything. It could be a bus trip where you go and visit all these amazing sites. It could be a cruise. It could be anything, but enough money to be able to go on one vacation a year. Number three, enough money to afford one holiday gathering a year. I think this is really incredible to think that there's a lot of people out there who, because of their impairments, their disabilities, are not able to go ahead and reconnect with their family, which is a form of causing extreme depression, because a lot of these people grew up with these people or want to see the future of these people, and they can't reconnect. So that's just something to think about here. Number four, enough money to afford a 2K purchase a year. So what I mean by that is like something that costs around $2,000. It could be anything. It could be a new AC unit. It could be an upgrade to the car that has a transmission problem, or this or that or whatever. It could be anything, but enough money to make a 2K purchase a year. I think that's really incredibly important, because that little bit of extra cash for some emergency that pops up that really screws up somebody's, routine, that's important, because it gets them back on track and they can go ahead and have a better quality of life. Number five, a pet that they can afford to keep and take to the vet. We don't have a vetcare.gov insurance marketplace. We should have something like that, but we don't have something like that. Number six, an unlimited phone with universal unlimited internet. Why don't we have unlimited internet? Why don't we have unlimited phone? I mean, and I get it, we're just getting Starlink right now, and that's the future and everything, and yada, 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 but can we start working on that? Because that should be like a human right, to have unlimited phone and unlimited internet. This should just be a human right. It should. Number seven, so an actually affordable and not taxed per mile electric car. California, as per the usual, is creating new, amazingly stupid law. And as a result of that, they're just trying to find new ways to tax every little cent out of every little person, which I can't stand that state at this point. I am just disgusted by the law that they come out with, and they keep coming out with more, and that's why people keep leaving in droves. But the bottom line is, we do not need to find a new way to tax people buying electric cars. The point is to get people to drive electric cars. The point is to get people to not have a bunch of bullet points and reasons why they should not buy an electric car, California. For supposedly such a forward-thinking state, they are really behind the eight ball on socially, financially, administratively. I mean, they are just ruining whatever systems they put in place. I mean, it's a beautiful place, and that's what saved them. And they had the tech sector, and that's what saved them. But beyond that, I mean, even media is moving out of there. Anyway, next one, 8, a safe in their home that can hold their personal belongings. So a lot of people don't realize, but a lot of disabled people, they want a safe. and it's a safe that's tethered to something in the house. So I don't know why bedrooms with a lot of these homes that aren't being prefab now, being pre-made, don't come with some sort of unit feature where you can just lock a chain lock to something that's poured into the concrete of the floor. There's something that's very strong that's held onto it. That way it's harder to steal the safe. But, the bottom line is a lot of people that, don't have much, whatever they have, they want to protect it. They want to have a safe. Number 9, for food to become cheap enough that we have access to throw away food if not eaten. So we're at the point now where food's so expensive that we're buying smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller packs of the items we used to buy. You'd have a hard time finding a gallon of anything in Walmart. You'd have a hard time, literally. It would be an off-brand item, and I think maybe it would be in the dish, or rather the clothing soap territory aisle, or maybe like a whitening soap or something. But that's it. You ain't gonna find it in Walmart. It's just not there anymore. They just don't sell gallons anymore. My apple juice container went from a gallon down to like this tiny little whatever thing. And I'm just like, they'll come up with some stupid excuse. It'll be like, oh, it wouldn't fit in modern refrigerators, even though refrigerators are only getting bigger as time goes on. Oh, it's always some crap. But the bottom line is to start pushing the farmers to produce more food, to start getting more food cheaper in these different, Publix, Walmart, all these different places that sell it, so that the American people can actually afford food. It used to be you could spend $200 in Walmart and you're a king, and now you're spending $400 and you're like, I got one basket load. That's it. That's all I got here. One basket load. 10, for communities to not view the disabled as freeloaders, retired as worthless, and adopted children as second-class kids. I think that's important. That's a cultural change in the U.S. I think it is happening. But then I see setbacks all the time. I'm not sure exactly how to convince the general public how to go about that. I know California will come out with some like company that's super funded by the government, and then they'll put out like 4 ads on TV and be like, look what we did. Look what we did. And I'm sitting back going like, you spent $15 million on that. But that's, you know how it works. 11, a government option to move states. All right, so this is something that's just going to become more and more prevalent as time goes on. I'm just going to read you exactly what I put on here. A government option to move states. Some blue people want to move to blue states, and some red people want to move to red states. What incentives are there for them? So the reality is that people are becoming more politically separated. And I can feel myself becoming more politically separated. I on the spectrum, which has gone like this. Here's the right, here's the left. That's what happened over the past 20 years. We went like this. And I used to be like right here, but now I'm definitely over here. I've never felt racial tension so extreme between people. I've never felt that our financial system is so out of control. I've never felt that there's so much lying and disingenuous information coming to me from not only the government, but the news media and statistics and agencies. It's never been this bad in my lifetime. So I'm not happy. And, the bottom line is the more I read about it, the more upset I get, which is I think how a lot of these people end up so pissed off. Because if you just watch the news, you will go insane. I'm certain of that at this point. And that's because it's the greater fool's theory of ratings. That basically gets people to watch, plays with their brain, and then, ships them off to it's one way or no way land. And that's just not how it works, But anyways, my point to you is this with all this stuff. People are going to want to move states. We need to start looking at how we can help those people actually move if they want to move. A lot of people are going to want to move to Florida for Republican stuff. A lot of people are going to want to move to California for blue stuff, for Democratic-based, liberal identity and things like that. And that's fine, and I'm cool with that. But people should be able to, there should be more things set up to assist these people with their transition. And that's the reality of it. We're just going to have states that are very different in the types of laws that they have. And then the federal government at the highest level, like, the district, circuit, or Supreme Court, is going to have to figure out which laws we're going to pass that all the states have to follow. Because that's the purpose of the Supreme Court. It's just to look at things for constitutional reference, constitutional purposes, and say, what are all the states going to follow? Right? And then, of course, the circuit court below that is supposed to look at, like, this state came up with this and this state came up with this. And, between these two things right here, which law is going to become the whole thing that we use everywhere. So, yeah, that's basically, those are the top 10. I know I gave you 11 like I always do, but those are the top 10 things that I think people really want to be able to utilize, and politics are getting in the way of it. And I think that I'd like to see President Biden start to answer some of these questions of how people could have more and stop forcing them to live with less. I don't think he's the one forcing people to live with less, but I think the system is definitely set up that way. It's set up to charge more than, the COLA, cost of living adjustment, is a joke. I know a lot of you people like write in the comments like, it's a joke, and you get all angry and you get all like exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. I know that. I'm fully aware of that. I know that the amount you buy in food per month, per new year, pretty much is more than just and that's just the food. It's more than your COLA has gone up for your total amount. So just for food, it's the food is more expensive than the COLA increase for your benefits in total. I know. I think it's stupid. I know. I'm aware of it. There's only so much I can do as a disability attorney who works all day, has to do sales, SEO, finance, accounting, taxes, manage people, work online systems, go to hearings, write briefs. There's only so much time in the day. You know what I mean? So, and I have no aspirations to ever be a politician, so it kind of falls on you guys. The big thing I'm doing in that arena is spaceconstitution.com, and that's not even a political thing. That's like what do you want? What rights and freedoms do you want in the world? Right? Then let's figure it out. Let's figure out how to make it work. I'm all for everybody having more freedoms than they currently have. My name is Attorney Walter, if not the third. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. I hope all is well. I'll catch you a little bit later. Please leave 5 stars. If you can, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And remember, I go live 8 to 10 every Thursday on YouTube from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have an absolutely wonderful night, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.